Hello class, I welcome you all to this session. In this session we are starting a new chapter called as organizing. So it is a chapter 5. Okay, so we have already completed chapter 4, which is planning. Now we are moving to organizing. First is the concept of organizing. You have to understand this concept of organizing. Before looking into, please do not read anything that is related to this. Just listen to whatever I am going to say. See, organizing means when you are having a place for everything that is in the organization. You may have human HR, you may have resources which can be financial or it can be material. Okay, so human resources, and you may have some resources in terms of financial resource and material resource. You have to organize these resources in such a manner that is related to achieving the organizational goals. Okay, for that only you need to organize something. Suppose for example you want to go for a tour or some picnic. Okay, so it's going to be a one day picnic, so obviously you're so excited about it. Okay, and you want to go and enjoy to the maximum. So what you will plan first, what place you're going to go is one important thing. Suppose you need to go, you're going to Queensland or Kishkinta or somewhere. Right now it is not possible, but after things get normal, you just imagine that you're going to some places like that. So you are allowed to play in water rides and things like that. So you have to be prepared for that. First you need to plan, you have to organize things. Okay, you definitely need a good a pair of shoes or slipper according to your comfort. Then you need a good pair of dresses, because you need to get wet, you need to have a change of dress, change of clothes with you. And then you need to organize like what is the foodstuffs that you're going to carry. Obviously your friends will be giving you some preferences. You'll be telling, I will bring this snack, you will bring that snack, you bring this, that, everything will be ready, and you finally arrange for the trip and you go, and you enjoy the trip maximum. Suppose for example if you have not brought, if you have not organized anything, what will happen? Will you be able to enjoy if you have not got any clothes or things like that, a spare cloth? Will you be able to enjoy the water rides? The answer is no, unless and until some friend is very generous, he has brought some extra clothes and things for you. Okay, so in organization also this is important. The concept of organizing is very important. It is a critical issue in accomplishing the goals specified in planning process. See, it is a critical issue. Why it is a critical? What do you mean by critical issue? It is very important in accomplishing the goals specified in planning process. You would have specified some goals in the planning process. To accomplish that goals, this is very important, is structuring the work of an enterprise to adapt to the dynamic business environment. See, you would have planned, okay, plan A, you should do all these works. Plan B, you should do all these work. But ultimately if you do something in action, only those things will be working out. Otherwise it will not. See, in organization, the organization may plan that you need to expand, or you need to construct a factory here or something like that. If they want to do that, they have to first allocate funds. Okay, then they need to make sure that they start the work. They start the work, they get the approval of the organization, the various government departments, and they have to do all these things. Without doing all these things, they cannot actually achieve this planned goal in structuring the work. So what is the work that has to be structured is what you need to understand. Look into this diagram. You have a plan and you have action. Plan can be converted into action only by organizing. Like, it will tell you who will do a particular task, where it will be done, and when it will be done. So these three answers will be given. These three answers to these three questions will be given by organizing. who will do particular task, where it will be done, which place, when it will be done, what time. So these the three W's are being answered: who, where, and when. Okay, these three W's should be answered. I will look into this. Organizing essentially implies a process which coordinates human efforts. What efforts? Human efforts, assembles the resources, integrates both into a unified whole to be utilized for achieving organization goals. So integrates both. As I told you, it integrates the human resource as well as the other resources to achieve this organization goals. So you can see in this here, it coordinates the human efforts and assembles the resources. Resources can be financial and material, or intellectual. Obviously if it should come from human only. Okay, suppose it is artificial intelligence, then it is assembles resources. Then you have to integrate these two to actually achieve the organization goals or something. So integrated by organizing tasks. So organizing is a plan by which the manager brings order out of chaos. Now he brings order out of chaos. Suppose there is no organizing activity that's going on, you have only a plan. The action will be taking a long time. Either it will take a long time or it will be done in a compromise manner. The quality of the task will not be to the mark. Okay, it removes conflict. It removes what? Conflict among people over work. In organizing everything, every person is given a particular job. He has to take care of that job properly. He cannot come and interfere in some other person's job. Okay, and other person cannot interfere in his job. They have to coordinate. They will know where to ask, when to ask, and how to ask. So, okay, so that clarity will be given, so it avoids conflict and creates an environment suitable for teamwork. It is suitable for what? Teamwork. So there is one definition given by Lewis Allen. It's a beautiful definition. You have to pay attention for this. So organizing is a process of identifying and grouping the work to be performed, defining and delegating responsibility. So first it is identifying and grouping the work to be performed. First you need to identify what is the work that you need to perform and grouping that particular work in a particular chunk. Okay, and defining and delegating responsibilities. You know the entire nature of the work. In that work, if this is the work, you have identified the work. Okay, you need to first define delegation process. For defining the delegation process, you need to first group it and you need to delegate them. Okay, this work will be for employee number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Like that you need to delegate it to workers. Okay, so responsibility and authority and establishing the relationship for the purpose of accomplishing objectives. So this is a very beautiful example. So defining and delegating the responsibility and authority. Without authority you cannot just to give the responsibility. And establishing the relationship for the purpose of accomplishing. Establishing the relationship. What relationship does 1 and 2 have? 2 and 3 have, or 1 and 3 have. Like that you need to establish a relationship between each persons. Then only they can carry on the work effectively. So this is one important definition given by Lewis Allen. So now we are going to discuss what is the organizing process. Okay, so organizing process. First we had the concept of organizing. Now we are going to discuss under that concept we have the organizing process. First, we need to understand that organizing process is first identifying and division of work. As I told you, you need to first know what is the work. Okay, have a knowledge about what is the work and divide the work into smaller chunks. And this work after division will be departmentalization and assignment of duties, and lastly it is establishing reporting and relationship. Establishing reporting relationship. Okay, so first what is this? Identification and division of work. Dividing the total work into manageable action. This is very important. Manageable action, that is small jobs, so that duplication of efforts and resources can be avoided and the burden of work cannot be shared among employees. Now listen, see, identification and division of work is very important because You know exactly what is the work. You divide that work, into a small chunks. You say that, Anand, you are responsible for this. Ravi, you are responsible for this. Keshav, you are responsible for this. Sunita, you are responsible for this. Sita, you are responsible for this. So you give responsibilities to each employees, and you not only give them responsibility, you allocate them. Okay, I will give you so much of resources. Okay, suppose you take on marketing jobs. Okay, you take marketing jobs, I'll give you the leads. Okay, you need to contact those numbers and find out the potential customer. If they are interested, you will let me know. So like that, you need to first divide the thing. So you dividing the total work in manageable action into manageable activities, so that duplication of efforts and resources can be avoided. You cannot allocate the same job to two different people. It's wrong, right? It's not good. There is a wastage of resources. Okay, and then you have, so that the burden of work can be shared among employees. So the second point is departmentalization or departmentation. Okay, grouping similar activities or related jobs into a larger unit and departments. Say for example, you may have a purchasing department, marketing department, finance department under functions. Okay, what these are all functions. Products, you may have separate departments. Based on the line of product, you may have some divisions or departments. Say for example, cosmetic or dairy products, or textiles. Based upon territories, you may have certain departments, like north department, north division, east division, south division, west division, like that. Okay, so like that you may have certain divisions. So grouping similar or related jobs into a larger unit called as department. So that is called as departmentalization or departmentation. Okay, then assignment of duties to job position. What is this assignment of duties to job position? Define different jobs, allocate work to various employees. Work must be assigned to those who are best fitted to perform it. This is very important. Best fitted to perform it. Okay. Say for example, you may employ a person who is having a degree in hotel management and catering. Suppose you want to employ them in a banking sector. Okay, in a processing job or something. Will they be suitable for the job, is a question mark, because he is fully trained into this catering and hotel management business. He is not trained into banking business. Obviously this is a mismatch of job position. Okay, suppose for example you have a cafeteria there and you appoint that person there, then it is suitable. Okay, so assignment of duties to job position is very important. Define different jobs. First you define it. What is the nature of job? Is it processing? Okay, is it customer service department, or is it marketing department, or it is a finance department, or it is a catering department, or what is it? So different job. Allocate work to various employees. Accordingly you allocate works, and this employee should be suitable for the work that they are supposed to perform. Essential for effective performance. This is very critical for essential performance. You employ a catering persons to banking customer job. Obviously he will not know anything, because he is not trained unless and until you give some 6 months training or 3 months training on the job. Okay, without that he will not be able to perform well. But if you have taken banking persons who have specialized in banks or cleared bank jobs and banking exams or things like that, they will be best suitable for this. Okay, this is one example that I wanted to give you. So assignment of duties to job position. Then the last point is establishing reporting relationship. Now establishing reporting relationship is nothing but each individual should know who is the authority. Okay, if this is the topmost manager, he may have certain persons below him. Okay, and that persons may have certain persons below them. Okay, and each person will have certain persons below them. So we can establish a hierarchy here, right? Now you have first level here, the second level here, third level here, and fourth level here. If fourth level may have one persons under them, so you have one first level, second level, third level, and fourth level. So you have these levels. So you have a responsibility and authority. He is responsible to the manager. He is responsible to the manager. Now these people are responsible to the assistant manager. We'll call him assistant manager, and these people are called as divisional managers or branch managers. So they are responsible for the assistant manager here. So each one establishing relationship is very important. So each individual should know from whom he has to take orders, that is, who has to give him orders. Otherwise what will happen, every person may give order to one particular person, or this clarity of authority and responsibility will not be clear, and to whom he has to be accountable for. Each person, we have learned in the the principles of management, that no person should get commands from two persons at the same time. He can be accountable only to one person. Okay, so who he has to be accountable for, and the hierarchical structure should be very clear. Okay, so able to understand this very clearly? Yes. So just a recap of what we have discussed in this video. The concept of organizing. What is the concept? We have discussed the definition here of organizing, and then we have moved on to the organizing process. Okay, keep practicing, keep taking notes. Thank you, class.